starting place for us always has to do with a kind of like a specialized palette of sounds. We work in two different technical modalities, but we have a kind of agreement to sort of connect at the level of these like specific set of sounds or something like that.
Yeah, and I think because though we improvise when we play live, I think both of us coming out of a background as composers really leads some of the forms, the kind of instant forms that we arrive at.
We are both like totally committed to free improvisation in this context for this duo. The preparation, therefore, takes place in a different register. It takes place at this sort of machinic level where we're preparing ways that we can kind of instantaneously draw up and deploy sounds that connect our two practices. So it's very much like a conversational, it's a sound conversation more than it is like a, it's sort of, anti-compositional in that sense, but there's a sort of preparation that makes that possible. In my case, what I love about doing improvised music is that it actually strongly informs how I think about composition, because I think one of the really kind of present, foregrounded aspects of improvising in a collective situation, even just with two, is how foregrounded the kind of social relation, or like this sort of idea of positionality, positions, communications, conflict in some cases, harmony, all the things that happen like between us as social actors, so to speak. It's like very much foregrounded in improvised music. So this then has a kind of foundational idea for my composition practice.
We both engage in kind of expanded forms in our each unique compositional practice certainly informs aspects of what we bring to the duo. And actually there's a lot of fluidity between, I think, influence and inspiration back and forth. We don't play together that often, but I think that the time off that we take is interesting time to reconsider sort of things in the micro that we'll bring back in.
Yeah, I think in terms of roles, they're like equal players in a field somehow.
Yes.
I'm personally not processing anything. All of my dub plates that I use as my primary material contain the kind of sort of fragments or detritus from the process of making my compositional work. So I kind of recuperate sounds from each project or each larger project and make dub plates as I go. So for me, it's like I'm kind of playing my own history always. I'm like recycling sounds from pieces. And then it's really just about like, I think of the stylus more like a drawing tool. I'm like pointing here, pointing there, pointing here. So it's not actually processing. All the processing happened a long time ago.
The process of processing. Up until this performance, I've worked just with pure synthesis, and so it hasn't really been I mean, it's all processing, I guess, in a sense, or none at all, depending on how you think about it. But I'm using more concrete sounds now for this performance, and there's elements of processing going on, but honestly, trying to leave the sounds alone and having how I sweep through them and their relationships and the moments of crossover, I think, is what I'm finding the most interesting, instead of actual manipulation on a processing level.
Maybe that's actually another kind of common ground that I'm discovering right now.
Yeah.
That somehow we are just kind of like placing sounds and letting them dissolve or decay. Yeah.
Thank